Hey guys, I'm back. It's Rampager, and this is WWE Supercard, episode number 22.
You develop very strong bladder control. I want to talk about a man who is near and dear to all our hearts. A man who played a huge part of developmental, whether it was the Performance Center or FCW. And that's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Triple H, I'll start with you. What did Dream mean to this company?
Solo match.
Well, it's huge. You know, people talk about this industry like, oh, this guy's got a great
Oh
mind.
shit,
You know,
that's
this
a pro.
Guy, he's really good at putting matches together, or whatever it is, or you have great booker, or this and that, and all those things. There's very few people in the world, and I could count them on one hand, that I would say is a visionary, can envision something bigger than what exists and then create something more out of it. Dusty was a visionary. You know, concepts that he came up with.
Going for the comment on
ideas
that?
that he had, things he did, whether that be Starcade, War Games. They did just so many things that he was a visionary for. And when it comes to Dream, like, I can't even begin to say how important
You
his role
understand?
was.
They talk to
The only thing I can say about it is
me.
everybody right now is asking me, you know, what are you going to do to replace Dusty? Who's going to put that role? How are you going to replace Dusty? And I can't even begin to think of how I would replace him in that system. So I have to rethink the whole system of how I work around it to create what I need done.
Solo
But
match.
it is certainly not replacing Dusty Rhodes because it can't be done.
Oh shoot, I'm going to get a spear.
Performance Center is getting to talk to Dusty every day just about the industry and like, you know, he had his promo class, but it didn't end there. Anybody could go into his office at any time and talk. You know, you think you're going there to talk for 5 minutes, you'd be in there for an hour. And you'd learn as much in his office as you would in his promo class. And my favorite thing about him is that he cared about every single person in the Performance Center, you know, because the coaches all have different classes and different groups. And, you know, every coach is obviously open to anybody can go up to them and ask them for advice or help, and they'll help. But Dusty worked with every single person in the Performance Center, and that was, you know, 60, 70 guys. And he tried to have ideas and input for everyone, you know, no matter who they were, how long they had been there. And, you know, the promos aren't always great.
Alfie.
Because a lot of guys are...
What? No way. You don't say.
But,
Guilty.
you know, Dusty was very blunt, so if you did something that wasn't good, he'd let you know, but the way he'd let you know would still make you feel really good, you know? He just had, I don't know, he was the best. That's all there
It
is.
depended on his mood for the day too, because I cut some stinkers in that class. And yes, that's it. That's so good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is exactly how I feel. Sit down. You're good.
And then he'd look to the person next to him and go, gee, that crap, that was Dusty was a master storyteller, and he could give you these details that you knew for a fact he was lying, but you didn't care, and you still thought maybe he tells this story.
Oh my God,
and
Bray
everyone
Wyatt.
knows it about how he had dinner with Babe Ruth. Physically
The
impossible.
ghost of Babe Ruth, to be exact.
It was really a babe named Ruth. Yeah. I was in the Gramercy Hotel, and I see him. He said, "You're the American Dream." Babe Ruth, big Dusty Rhodes fan. Just so y'all know.
And I remember when I started the boss character, and I would just always sit with him and ask him his opinion, and every week we would just come up with something more and more. And the thing that I loved about Dream so much is that he just always believed in you and always gave you the courage and strength to just
Really, you're gonna
keep
pull out a
going and make
comment?
mistakes and to learn from it. And don't care what anybody thinks, because this is you. You just do you, and everyone will follow. So, God, you can say so much about Dream, but he was absolutely amazing, and everybody must have seen.
And Seth, when you won first NXT Championship, you had Dream in there in the ring with you. What did that mean?
Yeah. Triple H and Dream came in the ring, and we all hung out and had a good little moment. It was pretty awesome, to be honest with you. And I didn't know that was going to happen either, so that kind of caught me off guard. There's a good picture of me I might have been squirting a couple wet ones out. That was a big moment for me, and to be able to have
Dusty's tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes Seth's a little edgy, you know.
There he is. Look at your hair. You had hair. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I had a hair. Look at Dusty's hair.
Yeah, right. We all look like crap.
I probably told Dusty literally right when you were winning, like, Dusty, let's go out there. And you're like, oh, really, baby? My hair, the man.
No, but I mean, look at the smile on his face. He
Hopefully when I get the pole, it will be an
incredible.
ultra
And that's the thing
rare.
is he just had passion every single day for all of us, for every moment. Everything was always special to him. That's just how he lived his life. He lived it with passion, and that's not just in wrestling. It's his family, his friends, the people he kept close and cared about. He was just one of the most passionate people you'll ever meet, and I was lucky enough to share this moment with him. You know, not too many people get that opportunity, so I feel very humbled that I got to spend some time with him and share an excellent moment like the one on the screen right there.
Well, speaking of moments, let's go to the first NXT Live special, Triple H NXT Arrival. What led to the decision to decide to take things to a whole new level and go live?
Well, it's funny if you think back to like NXT starting. We didn't even have a presence in the United
Go a
States.
little bit longer.
Anywhere outside of like a little thing on Hulu or YouTube in the U.S. at all. And then the WWE network was coming along. And that was kind of be our place. And we had a few offers at that point to go on some different networks, TV shows, but we had turned them down because the network was coming. And then we had the opportunity. I had been flirting with the idea of trying to put the brand, because it had so much buzz, and do like a little internet pay-per-view or something to try to get it out there a little bit. And the network came up, and Vince in classic form decided absolutely last minute we're going digital with the network and OTT, and it's tomorrow. And everybody freaked out, and then they were trying to think of great content for the first week, and I saw an opportunity to wedge myself in there, and I said, well, I could do a live special with my NXT crew, and it would be an opportunity for us to test out live, get all the bugs out of the system in every way a positive, and I think the fan base will love it. And they said great, and we did
I'm
it.
gonna go to the next
It was
poll.
mind-blowing to me how big of a response it got. I was hoping it would go well, but it just across the board was so well received that when I got back, Vince immediately was like, I think we should maybe do one of these once a quarter. And it became what it is now. It became TakeOver, and it just, you know, you can put it out there and have all the talent in the world, but it takes all of you to latch on to it and to be what you want to see and to make it a success, and you did. You know, it started out as just something small, and it's grown and it's grown and it's grown. And we talk about Dusty for a second. I'll go back to that. Like, had so many moments. I told you guys, don't make this sad, right? Damn. I had so many moments of dream that day to create that. And that vision, and just that look on his face with that smile, and just all of it was just overwhelming. It was really cool.
Corey, from behind the scenes in the locker room,
Here we
seeing the
go.
transition from 20, 30 people in FCW to now going
Eric
live
Rowan.
on WWE Network. What was the feeling like?
Deal with
It's insane.
Tommy.
In a way, I feel like a proud dad. Kind of. I can only imagine how Hunter feels. I was in FCW as a
Rafazala, or whatever the heck that name is.
Surreal to me. Everyone that's kind of on top of WWE right now came through FCW, and we couldn't sell tickets to save our lives. And here we are in a few hours. Speak for yourself. The guys that I came up with are all pretty much on the road full time now. But like even when Finn and Kevin and a lot of the guys, the newer guys come in, I've been in this different role. So I got to work with Dusty a lot, helping guys come up with ideas and characters, and it's almost more gratifying on that end where I can look at somebody and I was like, wow, we helped him think that up, or we had a hand in that, which in a way is totally different. As hard of the time as I had stepping out of the ring and adjusting to a new role, it's almost more gratifying to kind of step back now and go, wow, I helped do this, you know, it's really cool.
When I saw the first live special, I remember watching it on my laptop, and I was being like, damn, man, I wish I would have got that opportunity, because the crowd had shifted to become what you guys have become now, and it was something that, like, I felt very proud of, that I helped contribute to a little bit, but I wished that I had gotten an opportunity to perform.
Oh no, it's Fish
you know,
Face.
fans like you guys in this sort of setting.
And the
Because
boss.
That's kind of where I came from. That's kind of the environment that I, blossomed in. So it was cool. For me to see my friends get to do that over the course of these takeover specials, just to see how everybody has become who they are, and to watch the fan base
Grow. Solo match
watch
power
NXT
and
become what it's
speed.
become, and I'm just curious to see where the hell does it go from here, you know what I mean?
Every match at this past WrestleMania, with the exception of me and Sting because we're old, every single match had somebody that came directly out of NXT. It was amazing. You know, Seth, Roman, Dean, Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family. I mean, it just went down the line. And as I went through every match, I was like, oh my God, like this little thing that started in a warehouse in Tampa that blew up and just, it has changed the entire landscape.
Was there a conscious effort to
Here we go.
NXT
Look
as
at
a
the
separate
pulse
brand,
soon.
different from Raw or SmackDown?
To make this be something different, you have to make it be something different, and you have to kind of be an alternative. If I created just kind of Raw light and SmackDown light, then it's always just going to be less than. I wanted to create an environment that people could do everything that the WWE
My 5,000
did
my
in a
four-
different
I mean,
way,
my
so that when you came
4,000.
up, there was a slight style difference, but everything else was exactly the same. You were just
Will
in a bigger
be
building with
sadly
more
it will be an
people.
ultra
And
rare
then
because
we
I'm not an
surpassed that
ultra
too, in a way.
on the
So,
epic
yeah, I
tier.
mean, I wanted it to be an alternative because there already was this. I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be an alternative, and not because I think one is wrong or right. You know, we talked earlier about Finn talked about getting all these different opinions. You ask 100 people in this business, you get 100 different answers. A lot of times we'll say there's not one right and there's not one wrong. It's variations of right. It's chocolate and vanilla. You know, it's really that. It's just preferences.
Sin
You know,
Cara
that line, but if we already
and
had
David A.
chocolate
List of
vanilla, I wanted to
Tonga.
make chocolate.
Interesting you talk about it being like an alternative. I remember I was still in Japan, and I'd get home at the end of a tour, and I'd have NXT DVR because it was on TV in Ireland.
In
There
Ireland.
was something on NXT that was kind of captivating, and I didn't want to fast forward through it. For some reason, I was
Through it?
kind of like drawn to what was happening in NXT, and I was like, that's something that I want to be a part of.
Yeah, I remember watching the first live special from my house. I saw Sammy and Cesaro have that match on there, and Bo Dallas and Neville in the main event, the ladder match, and like it drove me crazy that I wasn't there already. And at that point, I knew I had the tryout coming up in a month. So if anything, it just reinforced that like this is where I had to be. There was a chapter of my career that was about to end.
Solo match power, charisma.
But NXT was like, you know how you say now it's hard to call it developmental. A lot of people sometimes when they get signed to a developmental deal, you don't know how to take that. But going to NXT now, it's a thrill. People excited to be a part of NXT, and
I hate pulling Bray Wyatt. Oh, one of these things. Did I get it right? Yeah, buddy.
it was gonna be like it was obvious to me that night that I had to be a part of it.
Oil
So,
rocks.
If I had gotten signed after the trial and they had told me, oh, you're just gonna go to Raw, I honestly think I would have been bummed out because I wanted to be a part of NXT because it's something special, and you know, if anything, this weekend proves it. So yeah.
Sasha, what was it like for you, sitting behind when you first came here, seeing NXT grow, and
God
eventually
damn.
becoming NXT Women's Champion?
Well, I remember that first pay-per-view when it was Emma versus Paige, and I just sat back and I watched, and I was so proud of them. But I watched and I was like, I want to be there. That's where I want to be. I don't want to sit back and watch want to perform. It's so crazy, this movement, this NXT movement. It's insane just to watch it grow and to be a part of it.
I got a question for you, Sasha.
What is that?
So, the four of you girls, you know,
Oh.
four horsewomen, as you dub yourselves, out of curiosity, was it something, this sort of Divas revolution that you guys have made your own? Was that something that consciously happened for you guys? Were you guys just looking at the landscape of women's wrestling and being like, we want to change this whole dynamic, this whole paradigm? Was that something that the four of you kind of talked about? Or, I mean, I'm sure you spent plenty of hours on the road with them and thought about, like, man, looking out there, we can do something about this and change the way people see women's wrestling. Is that something that you thought about, or is it just something that happened?
Well, it's actually something I've been thinking about since I was 10. During my time, it was all the, bra and panty matches and all that stuff. So it was always my dream to be in the WWE, but I wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah. And I think we would be remiss, I mentioned it for you, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Sarah Del Rey in the conversation too. Because she obviously played a big part, your trainer most of the time, and she's wonderful.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember training and we were told to wrestle like divas. And we were just like,
Oh my, I'm gonna be
What?
fish face. All right.
absolutely not. So having her there and just having her background is incredible. She's one of the best female wrestlers in the whole world. So just to have her there as a trainer and to have her help us grow. And this is where the NXT Women's Division is now. thanks to
Connor,
her
2 more rows and then
all
I'm
of
gonna
us.
say
So it's
goodbye.
awesome.
Absolutely, I think that Sarah is one of the biggest linchpins
Once
of
I
the
get the
success
pull.
of the whole thing. And, trying to find the right way to make that change happen, to have that idea of that change in mind, but finding the right way to make that happen, the right person to back it up, the right people to be involved in it, was a process, and we had it in mind even when you guys were being told.
Tag team
Wrestling
power
Divas. I didn't know
charisma.
that. So I remember us talking to
Yeah,
to
buddy.
Paige and them about like the time, what they were gonna have, and then they went out there and had the match that they had, and then watching everybody else's sort of, you talk about like a paradigm shift. I think it changed in everybody's mind, like, oh my God, they're gonna give us this platform, and you guys, it was like a
Oh, that
race to
bitch
get to
procked.
that point, at that for all of you, and I saw it all just change immediately in the look when you were talking about it, and you guys were just like,
Come on, why you wait?
and it was awesome.
Did you meet any resistance or, from the rest of the company when it came to deciding to put more focus on the women's division?
Now, the great thing is we're kind of slipping under the radar.
The Brian J.
When you start out small, it's great. No one's paying attention to it, and then all of a sudden there's hashtag Give Divas a Chance. And thanks for doing that, because you guys pushed it along. So hashtag Give Divas a Chance comes along, and all of a sudden I've got a lot of people going like, well, they keep talking about NXT and what's going on down there, and what are you guys doing different? I think it was hard for a lot of people to see past, this is what we do with the girls. This is what we do with the Divas. This is what they do, and it works for us. This is what they do. It's hard for them to get outside of that box and say, we're going to do this, and it's going to be awesome. With a vision of changing it to this, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay, here we
They
go.
almost
I
have to
won.
get forced outside of their comfort zone.
One,
kicking and
one,
screaming.
one.
And, between NXT and the platform being there, between, what these girls were doing on a nightly basis, practically stealing the show across the board, to just all of it, to then your response to that, it just made it happen, kicking and screaming, and it's not.
I know it's going a little long, but I want to go to the poll.
We're gonna get here. You're a big part of it.
Sasha, as the Divas got more time, to compete inside the ring, was there a sense of kind of, hey, baby, I want to one up you, Charlotte, I'm trying to one up you. How was the competition level?
Well, of course, there's always a competition, but I think the greatest thing in NXT, we're such a family, and we always want to help each other and to get there together, because I can't do this alone. I can't. And of course, in my head, I know that I'm the best, but
Oh, Roman Reigns
I've
leveled
always
up.
wanted to one up
Yeah,
Bayley
buddy.
and one up Charlotte and one up Natty and Charlotte. Oh my God, I saw that match. I'm like, I have to one up that. Every takeover I watch and I go, I need to one up that because I need to be the best.
And I'll just take one step back because we have talked about a lot of this, and I'll kick myself later for not mentioning people, but Maddie, people like that, their assistance in this happening, their piece of that revolution, their piece of that movement is a huge foundation. of setting it all
And The
up.
Rock.
I don't wanna,
So I will say goodbye. Bye, Felicia.
Taking it to another